They looked like the perfect couple online, smiling, traveling, living the dream. But behind those photos was a truth so dark, it would shock the entire nation. Gabby Petito was just 22 years old, young, creative, and full of dreams. She wanted freedom, adventure, and a life on the open road. By her side was her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. Together, they presented themselves as the ultimate van life couple. Instagram posts filled with sunsets, laughter, and captions about love. YouTube videos showing road trips, national parks, and happiness. To the world, they looked perfect, a modern American dream on wheels, but the camera only showed what they wanted people to see. Off camera, things were very different. Friends later revealed that Gabby was emotionally sensitive and anxious. Brian, on the other hand, was becoming increasingly controlling. He criticized her ideas, mocked her goals, and tried to dominate decisions, especially her social media content. The van they lived in was small, the space was tight, and the tension had nowhere to escape. Arguments became frequent, silences grew heavier. Gabby slowly started blaming herself for every conflict. She still smiled for the camera, still posted happy captions, still told the world everything was fine. But inside that van, something was breaking. What looked like a dream road trip was quietly turning into a nightmare. And this was only the beginning. August 12th, 2021, Moab, Utah. A 911 call comes in. A witness reports seeing a young couple arguing outside a white van. The caller says the woman appeared distressed. Police locate the van and pull it over. What happens next is all caught on real police body cam footage. Gabby steps out first. She's shaking, crying uncontrollably, apologizing again and again, even before anyone accuses her of anything. She keeps saying the same words. "It was my fault. I have anxiety. I get emotional." Brian stands nearby, calm, smiling at times, talking smoothly. The contrast is disturbing. Gabby explains that they were arguing over small things: stress, travel, work. She admits she hit Brian out of frustration, not aggression. Brian tells police Gabby is crazy sometimes and gets worked up easily. The officers see scratches on Brian's face. Suddenly, the situation flips. Gabby, the one crying, shaking, terrified, is treated as the aggressor. Police separate them for the night. Brian is sent to a hotel. Gabby is left alone in the van. No charges, no arrest, no serious follow-up. The incident is officially labeled mental health crisis, not domestic violence. But viewers watching the body cam footage later noticed something chilling. Gabby blaming herself, Brian never taking responsibility. Officers unintentionally missing clear red flags. That night ends quietly. But the tension doesn't. The road trip continues. The smiles return online. Photos are posted. Captions look happy again. Yet behind the scenes, something has shifted. Because after this moment, Gabby is never seen alive by the public again. And the silence that follows will soon terrify an entire nation. She stopped answering calls. Her phone went silent. And the man who was supposed to protect her came home alone. After the police stop in Utah, Gabby and Brian continued their road trip. At least that's what the world believed. On social media, everything still looked normal. Photos were uploaded. Captions were cheerful. The illusion of happiness continued. But behind the scenes, something was terribly wrong. The last signs of Gabby. On August 25th, 2021, Gabby spoke to her mother for the last time. She said they were in Wyoming, near Grand Teton National Park. Nothing in her voice suggested what was about to happen. Days later, strange text messages appeared from Gabby's phone. The tone felt off, short, unusual. Her family immediately sensed something wasn't right. Then, complete silence. Calls went unanswered. Messages were left on read. Gabby had vanished. Brian returns, alone. On September 1st, 2021, Brian Laundrie drove the couple's white van back to Florida. Alone. No Gabby, no explanation. Even more disturbing, Brian refused to speak to Gabby's family. He ignored calls, ignored messages, ignored desperate pleas asking where their daughter was. Days passed, still no answers. A missing person case explodes. On September 11th, 2021, Gabby Petito was officially reported missing. The story exploded across the United States. News channels' non-stop coverage, social media investigations, internet detectives analyzing every post, every photo, every timeline. One question echoed everywhere. If Brian came home in Gabby's van, where was Gabby? Brian hired a lawyer, still said nothing, not a single word. And that silence spoke louder than any confession. But the darkest discovery was still ahead. Searchers were looking for answers. What they found instead ended all hope.